Morning, folks. How many of you have taken that job which ultimately turned out to be a nightmare? Some of you are in these situations right now. Yesterday, I was talking to someone who's experiencing this as we speak. They're working a job that they hate, and right now they feel like they're stuck. Their hours and conditions are keeping them in such a way that they can't go seek other employment, so they're trapped. This is a young person. And it's not really so much of them being lazy. See, I listen. Instead of me judging them as being a young person, I listen to this person to carefully see and assess what the problem actually was so I could help them, because they were talking to me and they were trying to figure out what to do. I'm not a money expert or anything like that. I don't really care about money, folks. Hey, great one. Don't really care about money. But my point I was trying to make, and all of this is going to tie in. I'm going to show you in a minute. I always talk about society, folks, and even our young folks who are living in this modern society are troubled by the ills of this society, folks. So it's an epidemic thing where it's affecting everyone. Many of you are asleep, and this is what I always talk about. Every video we're going to talk about waking up at this point. I'm going to be your proverbial alarm clock. Hey, great one. I'm going to be your proverbial alarm clock in this situation and try to, buzz you up, get you there. Okay? This young person, though, I felt bad because I've been there. I'm not going to really go too much into their story, but I'm going to give you a few facts about their narcissistic situation that they're currently in, trying to get out of. Many of you out there are going to go through this. And these are the great things that happen that we can discuss, because these are the things that drive us to these depressions and these lower natures that we gravitate to. Being in depression and not thinking clearly is part of the problem with modern society, folks, in many ways. And these narcissistic cultures in general, the go-getters, the assholes in the world that I talk about, who are in these work sites, doing what they do, right? Looking for victims, breaking these people. This is a young person who's inexperienced. This is probably their first or second job or something. But on this job, these people, because they're young or something, and that's not fair, because they're still old enough to, responsibly work and take care of themselves. So you should show everyone respect, folks. This is what you're lacking: your humility, your inability to reason with what you're doing to another person and not caring. Part of the problem, folks. Part of the reason for the reckoning. You get it? So this young person is on their job suffering every day because they have a narcissistic boss who demands many things of them. And, it's really humiliating, right? And that's what we're going to talk about today, because part of that narcissistic game, folks, is humiliating you, right? Humiliation, devaluation, and degradation, not necessarily in that order, but actually we'll put them in an order, right? The devaluing of a person, or how it started like this: the degradation of a person, degrading someone, results in their devaluing. If you had them on a perch, like the narcissist does when they're gaslighting and doing all of the things they do, like making you think things, right? They put you on this perch, and they make you the greatest person in the world. They uplift your self-esteem. If you have low self-esteem, see, they're seeing these things. You're weak in some ways, and they're able to target these things. They're predatory, folks. But, you take these situations where these narcissistic bosses, and this person, I'll give you some of their experience. This person is working a job, and it's a crappy job. We've all had that first job, folks. You've worked in the mall or something. I can remember doing it myself, cutting grass, all the stuff I was doing when I was a young teenager trying to make money and stuff, hustling. Been doing it ever since. But this young person's working one of these jobs where it's like a fast food gig or something. And they had a situation where they got sick on the job because there was some disgusting things that were happening. And, they were asked to clean the restroom there. And that's reasonable. You have to, I guess if you're working at a place like this, you have to, if you're doing that type of job, you have to service. But the problem they would have in this situation is that every single day, they would have these insane customers who would come into the restaurant, would take, food and dump it under the benches, where they were sitting at, just to get that person to come over there and have to sweep up or something. They would sit there and do this stuff every day. So they felt degraded on such a level that the person was willing to drop food all over the floor. Now just imagine a whole tray of food under the table or something. Just imagine how that looks. It's impossible. You wouldn't do it in your home, so you go out here and you do this. Another thing they would talk about is these servicing things like restrooms and stuff. And they would have these certain folks that would come in there and they would just eat up a pile of food or something, right? Gorge on food and then go to the restroom. And so like the person would wait until they clean the restroom, and the same person would come in this place every day, gorge and then go into this bathroom and then just leave it in such a way that, they said there was like crap all over the toilet seat, crap all over the floor. So they said they're realizing that they're working a job, they're making fucking barely minimum wage or some shit. I don't even know the figure. But they're making not enough to pay their rent, right? They do other stuff or whatever, I don't know, odd jobs or something. So whatever they're doing, they're trying to make a living, folks. This is the hard society that puts you in these situations where this narc boss is seeing this shit all over the floor and the commode, and it's already humiliating and degrading on some level that you have to, for a couple of bucks an hour, clean the shit off the back of a toilet seat every day. Same people coming shitting on the floor every day. These are people who are shitting on the floor. Now, if you guys remember, in a previous video a while back, I told you about a situation where another viewer had experienced a situation where at their job, someone had crapped, just to, I guess, harass them or something, or intimidate, or whatever this crazy purpose was, but it was insane. But the person actually crapped on the floor in front of their locker. And so just want you to imagine a pile of adult manure, laying on the floor in front of your locker. And people are putting their clothes away and coming to and fro and going about in this locker room, but no one is commenting on, there's a pile of shit on the floor with flies flying around. But do you understand what I'm saying to you folks? And these are the people who are your neighbors, like I keep telling you. So this is all relative to what's going on with you. So this person found themselves in a situation where out of a 5-day work week, 4 of those days, and I'm not degrading anybody because I'm saying people do what they do. Some people are tough enough to do these jobs. That's why they had that show, Tough Jobs or some shit, where people all across the world were doing these jobs just to make a living. But the point I'm making is that in this society, the people who do the least and who think the least and have to do the least effort get all of the profits from this stuff. You don't understand how this stuff is set up, folks. This is what I'm talking about. So you're being degraded on an overall level. But in this case, this person is suffering because they're being broken down every day with these sick assignments. So anyway, they were trying to clean this place up. There was shit everywhere, from what I understand. And they got so sick that they just couldn't do it. Like there was a smell or something that just overcame them. And they had to leave. And so the boss said, well, before you do that, do blah, 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 and go and try to go make them clean out a septic sink or something. And so really they felt like this person was just literally not even caring about them as a person or what they were going through. So they ended up working maybe another hour on that shift before they were able to go home and throw up and try to get themselves together for the next day. And they went back in the next day, and I haven't talked to them to find out, and I'll give you guys developments on if they stayed at this job or not, because I told them a few things. Point I'm trying to make to you guys is that many of you may be going through this exact same circumstance, right? That humiliation, devaluation, and degradation, right? So you're devalued on some level from the start. You were a suitable target because you had value. And soon as that person realized that they could take advantage, they drop your value. You understand? Your stock went down. From there, they were able to degrade you, right? Which in turn is how you felt humiliated. And that's why those three things are the core things that make this crazy wheel go around for the narcissist. It's the thing that drives them, but also the thing that makes you the victim, the thing that hurts you the most. In those ways when you're talking about trying to fix your inner self, folks. Now, here's the good part. The good part is that the Most High is the creator of all things, folks. Gotta talk about this, folks. Which you would, huh? Yes. The Most High is the creator, folks. Holding on to him, right, will guarantee you protection from this lower energy, folks. See, there's gonna come a time when this is not gonna exist anyway, is what I'm saying. I told this person that the other day. And, you know, maybe they believe me, maybe they don't. They're young, right? They gotta experience things and learn for themselves. But I've been there, folks. You know, these are those people, I told you, those shit shovelers who think they're greater, who have this grandiose sense of who they are. Where to the point where you can get sick on the job and ask to leave because you have an illness going on. And these people are so domineering and so cold-hearted that they make you go clean up a septic tank or wipe some shit up off the floor or something, literally, right? And so this person is in there cleaning swishing a shitty toilet bowl, shit everywhere, there's a stench, water sloshing in their face, they're looking away, they don't have a mouth guard or anything. These people haven't given them anything, so it's like they're working in a labor camp, they feel like. They're slaved all day. They don't have any benefits. They don't have anything. And this is what the average go-getter is doing when they have a business. They're cutting corners, folks. That's why money is the root of the foolishness, folks. When you go-getter and you want to chase that money and be really successful, right? Then you find yourselves in situations where you're suppressing other people. And this is what I always talk about. You suppress because you lack humility, folks. This is a fact, folks. You know? So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about in these situations where you're working jobs, because this is important. And this is this society that we currently live in, which won't exist, you know, come later on in the future. But right now, for you people who are just dealing, you're living in this society, this world society, but you're not actually in the society. You understand what I'm saying to you? You've been yoked from that matrix. When you wake up, you're being yoked out of it. You see everything for what it is, right? Especially when you have a great mentor like I have. You know? I give praise to God. Thank you, God. Not embarrassed, not ashamed. In this society, we glorify lower energies. We give TV shows and promote lower energy on TV, and all of us glorify this, and we give power to lower energy somehow. But we don't realize the source of all things is the Most High. He is God, folks. If you hold on to him, you cannot go wrong. And this is the truth, and this is fact, folks. You understand me? When you're dealing in these environments, it's important to always have your hands on God. Hold on to him, folks. Right? That's all you have in these times. It's coming to a certain point. The energies are running rampant. These empty houses of people that are your co-workers and your bosses who are doing this evil. Now, I can remember, you know, these are the people that, you know, I told the guy about an experience I had when I was young, and I worked a job. I've actually worked several jobs when I was young, but I can just remember these certain people. And this, y'all gonna laugh at this, but this is what I call them, and I'm gonna tell you why I call them this. I call them booty stinkers, right? These are the people who believe their shit doesn't stink. In most cases, these are those narcissists who have that grandiose, like I was talking about, and who see themselves in superior positions, right? And these booty stinkers actually stink in some cases. There was a case with one job, there was a woman. On another job, there was a guy. right? And every day they would come in, and because they had a sense of grandioseness about who they were, they didn't think about anyone else's discomfort. So every day they would come in smelling like day old cottage cheese, but reeking of it. In both of these situations, right? You know, in both of these situations. But this woman was a narcissist. Clearly, she was a covert narcissist, and the guy was too. Because in both situations, I found myself feeling and dealing with their energy and their tactics. These tactics where they would try to sabotage things on the job, do this gaslighting and stuff. Try to do smear campaigns. Many of you are going through all of these types of things. But then on the harshest levels, like I said, your boss actually slave driving you to the point where, you know, you're sick from cleaning up shit off the floor, and the boss is trying to make you clean up more shit before you leave. Right? They're not even giving you health benefits. From what I understand, they weren't even getting health benefits. They didn't even have those offered to them on that job. So they're working a job where they can get sick, exposed to E. coli and all types of shit, handling this shit. And they said this was every day of a 5-day week. They said they were wiping shit up 4 days out of the week. Not working in a nursing home or something where these things are expected, environments where people are trained. No, this is a place where it's like a sweatshop or something. You know, a flimsy pair of rubber gloves and a spray bottle or something. They're out there wiping, you know, mounds of shit up off the floor. It's disgusting. Why do we have to live in a society where we're doing that? Right? Because someone wants to be a go-getter and make as much money as they can, instead of paying a plumber. Right? Which brings me to another situation. Just like in that same place, that same person. And I don't even want to say who they are, because they've been humiliated enough. But they were forced to there was like some type of toilet backup one day during that week, and they said they took like a one of those, and I would never do this. This is what I'm trying to explain to you folks about where you are mentally to be humiliated on the level where you are broken, where you do anything. This is what the narcissist is looking for. But this person took they went and got like a fucking plastic bag, like I guess a can liner bag, wrapped it around their hand like you would clean up like poop in the park with their dog or something, and stuck their hand deep in the toilet, dug in that little hole area of the toilet, and pulled out a big mound of shit and cupped it in the bag and was able to throw it away and get the toilet to flush. And then when you think about the same customers, nasty ass customers, right? And they also said the working conditions, like people were using things from, some of the bathroom items were making it in their cooking areas and stuff. It was just disgusting. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just trying to show you, I don't really frequent restaurants anyway because of the narcissistic element where people will actually do things to your food. Like I told you about that mischievous narcissist who just does things just for the purpose of trying to get excitement or feeding off the energy of hurting you or something. These people are all around you folks. And I feel for the people who have that creative mind and that spirit, because they're opening up, they're waking up. They know that there's better things. If all of us were on board and wanted to do this, we could have the type of societies we want. We wouldn't have suppression. In every way you guys are suppressed, and that's the moral or theme of this conversation. If you don't realize it, you're the fool, folks. I'm just presenting you with these facts. You don't have to believe it. You can try to disprove it. Who cares? You're asleep. There will become a day where this won't exist. Money will no longer exist, folks. It is the cause of the worst things, folks. It is not necessary, right? And the worst of you will not be here to witness this great time, okay? You folks going over to my website, thinkbehavior.info, pick up my book, I Love Bad Behavior, because I love bad behavior. But I don't. In every way, I'm seeing dysfunctional mindsets. I'm seeing craziness, ridiculousness, pain and suffering, right? Physically. Consciously, I'm free from this. But physically, I got to walk through this shit pile, right? Imagine being a patron in that restaurant and you just making a stop off the highway exit and you run in there and because you got to go really bad and you open the door and there's shit and feces all over the light switch and all over the floor and everything. You would think some insane person, which is the case, took a shit and smeared it all over there, over the walls, which they probably do in their house, their homes. And I told you guys, that's insanity. Okay? Think about it. Okay, you guys like, share, subscribe to the channel. And you guys have a great day, and we'll be talking soon. All right? Y'all take care.